everyone, this is Fire Moon and welcome to today's reading, which is going to be predictions for the rest of 2021 for each of you and energies going into 2022. So we'll go through a few layers of predictions. So I'm using the lunar eclipse energy around us right now. I'm filming this as the eclipse is happening. So this is a prediction about all of the things that will be powerfully illuminated during this time of the eclipse, which is going to be November 19th through December 4th, on which date we have our second eclipse, this time a solar eclipse. So this is a powerful time for revelations, for higher understandings, for connecting to authentic truth for ourselves within and in relation to others. And it is, of course, going to be inevitably a time of looking at the past year and setting new goals and intentions and clearing up the energetic fields for the next upcoming year. So I have 5 piles for you right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So take a second to pick which one resonates for you the most, and we'll get started right away. Hi everyone who picked pile number 1. So this is going to be a reading. So first we're going to look at what area of your life is most highlighted right now during this eclipse season. So what are you most focused on right now? And then we're going to be looking at what are you being encouraged to do right now, what the energy around you is, and higher spiritual guidance. And then we'll get into some actual predictions with the tea leaves. So we'll take it one step at a time. It's a process reading, this one. So first cards that we have are North Node. So already you have one of the most possibly powerful cards in this deck. Destined to have. Let's take a look at that. And you're currently being you're being encouraged to embrace this following energy, which is direction. It says Super 7, Al-Risha star. So this already is such a powerful message. Before I get into any of the interpretations, let's look at the other cards. The energy around you is emotions are running high, 0% surprised by that as it is eclipse season, and your spiritual guidance or higher self-guidance is immortal treasures. Okay, so what really stands out already here is this combination of cards that really signify your highest possible purpose. So you, right now, you are being absolutely encouraged to embrace things that maybe feel a little bit daunting to you or a direction that feels a little bit risky for you in some sort of way, because it is the path of your highest destiny. So right here with this card, we have this dragon figure as well as mountains. So whatever you think of when you think of your highest wishes right now, it might seem a little bit chimeric. It might seem like it's a pipe dream, like it's something that you cannot achieve. And to be sure, there will be obstacles in your path, like on any path, right? As soon as you set out on it. But would you rather be on a path with obstacles that leads to something that will not be so fulfilling? Or would you rather have obstacles that teach you lessons about empowerment and that are destined to actually just make you stronger and get you ready for your highest possible life and to get you to a destination where you're supposed to actually be and to where you actually want to hang out and live your life and experience every waking moment of your existence there. This full moon in Taurus, on which the eclipse is happening, is all about your material reality. So Taurus is, of course, an earth sign, and it's happening during the very ending of Scorpio season. So this is all about the depths of what you're meant to be doing physically in the world. And sometimes we might be stuck in circumstances that are a little bit distanced from that highest outcome that we're working for in this lifetime, whether it's, still completely conceptual or whether it's in the working already. And it seems to me that these eclipses are pushing you by way of this very intense kind of emotional, intuitive energy in the direction that you're meant to be going. because I sense that most of you who are watching this specific reading, you kind of have an inkling about what this purpose is. That is your highest calling, your true destiny in this lifetime. But you kind of consider it impossible, or something that's not meant for you to have, something that is too out there for you to actually invest physical and mental and material energy in. It kind of remains at the back of your mind or soul or heart, and you kind of are in a state, I sense, like disbelief around you, like you can't possibly be saying, like, universe or signs or my spirit guides that, or me or my private thoughts or feelings, that this is actually what I'm meant to be doing. Like, I sense like disbelief around this thing. Like, yeah, you consider this like a dragon, like a mythical creature, something that's not possible for it to be real in your life. But if you've been experiencing crazy events or intensity of any kind, it's meant to get you to embrace this direction that you're feeling deep within at a soul level. The North Node is not, so the nodes, my favorite thing in astrology, your destiny, your highest purpose. They are geographical points, they're not planets, right? But the North and South nodes go together. So the South Node is your comfort zone. And in this lifetime, you're meant to embrace your North Node. So right now, actually, astrologically, we're experiencing a time when the nodes are shifting. So from the Gemini-Sagittarius axis to the Taurus-Scorpio axis. And it is a time when goals and ideas and concepts become more embodied and material. So whatever I would recommend, first of all, checking out your chart and seeing what your actual node placements are. But you're basically being forced at this point to shift out of your comfort zone, out of your South Node. And for some of you, I get the sense that this is a process that you haven't fully accepted at an intellectual level, at a spiritual level. You kind of feel it spiritually, but it's your mind that's causing potential blockages, because you're like, how is this relevant to me? What am I supposed to do to, make this come true or make this into a reality? Because like right now, I'm not seeing how that could be possible for me. Like, those are kind of the internal monologues that I'm feeling for you. So your highest or just higher guidance, spiritual guidance in general right now is this card, this beautiful card, Immortal Treasures. So first of all, I'm drawn to all these jewels in this card, which go back to that same message of the Taurus-Scorpio axis and materiality. But this is really all about preciousness and uniqueness and your own unique energy and inner blueprint, not just for your life destiny, but for who you actually are. So as I was meditating on the energies of the eclipse, which I actually took photos of last night with my moon camera, I'm super nerdy about that. I was just kind of staring at the moon and realizing, this eclipse will not happen in this exact same way in the next 1,000 years. So it's a super rare event, or it was rather. And I was really just kind of meditating on the uniqueness, the energy of uniqueness and of rarity, of extraordinariness. So there's something within you. Your purpose is your own unique thing that really no one else can do the way you can do. And this is what this message is about for you. You are being encouraged to, if you don't already know what this is, to figure out what that thing within you is, so that you actually embrace it. But right now you're in this state of not believing that it's real at all. But if there's any intense stuff happening around you, it's all meant to bring you to a point of recognition of what is the most precious within you and what is the most unique that you have to offer to the world and to yourself, because ultimately this is a path that's meant to bring you to your greatest fulfillment. So if you've ever had some sort of backup plan that you've chosen instead of this thing that feels like a pipe dream because of security purposes, this is telling you no, actually you embracing your highest purpose, the thing that feels impossible, will not only just be this like a woo-woo spiritual thing that you're meant to do, like, I don't know, but it's actually going to give you the most material fulfillment too. So that's kind of what I'm seeing for you here with the general messages. So let's see what's going to happen for the rest of 2021, and then what's the energy going to be like as you go into 2022. So one card for each of these things. Okay, so the first thing we have is Caterpillar. Things will not always be this way. A change is coming, and there are a few messages there, but the first thing that pops up is, whether you like it or not, these changes are kind of happening. You are being pushed on your highest path, on something that feels daunting at first, but it's ultimately for the better. This change is basically inevitable. It is basically predestined. It's part of your soul plan that you've agreed to experience this change and to embrace what is more uncomfortable than your current circumstances. The other thing I see here, but this is not the message I'm getting in the context of this reading, is that if things have been tough, things will always improve. So if you're ever, so I guess the way I could interpret that in context is, if at any point on this journey it feels like things are really tough and horrible and like, oh my gosh, this is so bad, like why did I go down this path? The bumps in the road are temporary, basically. Like, these mountains will soon seem like molehills, but you have to accept your quest first, basically. You have to say yes to the quest. The energy going into 2021 is Tiger, doing something risky, taking a chance. So we see a pattern here in this reading, definitely. Whatever things will be happening for the rest of 2021 that trigger deep feelings within yourself, or visions, or things that seem like the equivalent of like downloads or whatever, or if you have any sort of dreams that you can't ignore because they're so powerful and so unique. I keep going back to that word. They're all meant to lead you to the beginning of next year being a sort of complete like change and cycle in your entire life, basically. It's very powerful, it's intense, but basically like your energy is being alchemized so that you walk into the new year with a heightened drive and a change of direction that is towards your highest good and your highest purpose, with no shortcuts whatsoever, okay? Like, basically, all of these limiting beliefs, especially since your blocks I'm sensing are mostly intellectual, are being triggered to fall apart and completely break so that you walk into this new year with this sense of confidence and like, this is, a roaring energy, like, where you're going and you've accepted that that's where you're going and that is what you want. Basically, you're being forced to identify and actually accept what you truly, truly want, no matter how crazy it seems at first, because that is the path to your highest good and greatest fulfillment in this lifetime. Okay, so I'm going to pull some tarot before we get into the final predictions, which are, where will you be in about 3 months with this process, this whole experience here. So let's explain these two cards here. So what's happening in the rest of 2021, and how is this leading you towards experiencing the beginning of the new year? So one card for each of these cards. Okay, so we get, so Caterpillar, yeah. You see, typically in tarot, the Four of Cups is someone sitting under a tree and there are 3 cups around them, and then someone's like handing them a cup, but they're refusing that cup. So this is kind of how I feel your energy right now. Like, the quest is being offered to you, or you already feel the quest within yourself, you feel the direction, but you're not accepting it. And basically, this is telling you that you will be forced out of this sort of self-enforced standstill. The Four of Cups, I always think of it in relation to the Four of Swords, which is, again, mental energy, as we're talking about, which is a time of rest or of neutrality. This is also an emotionally neutral card. It's like you're resisting feeling this emotional urge to push in this direction, right? But things will be happening around you so that you're triggered into a feeling of emotional direction and basically drivenness, so that you get out of this bubble of, in a way, self-protectiveness, but at the same time of kind of refusal to go down this path. So this reading is a bit bossy. It's not me saying these words, it's the cards. So let's see. Oops. If there's any more information about how will this change be continuing into the new year. Wow. Okay, so 2 cards flipped over. Very interesting. The King of Cups and the Queen of Cups. Huh, so this might be a little bit of a side message here. And I'm not going to turn this into a love reading or anything like that, but that could be potentially related to you. If your higher quest involves some sort of kindred partnership or some sort of, yeah, I feel like there's some sort of partnership, whether it's romantic, whether it's business, whether it's collaborative of some kind, that is fated for you. That's interesting and surprising. I didn't see that coming. That will be supportive for you on this journey. So maybe one way to interpret this is taking this chance, moving into this higher dimension of your soul path, is going to involve doing something that gets you out of your comfort zone, whether that means reaching out to someone that you have feelings for, reaching out to someone who feels a little bit like out of reach as well, because you're actually equals, and teaming up together is going to further both of your life paths. So with another message, of course, we just get so much cups energy, right? So supermoon, emotions, 4 of cups, emotional neutral. And the King of Cups is someone who's emotionally mature and who has accepted the quest, basically, right? And the Queen of Cups is someone who listens to her intuition, and this is, of course, regardless of gender. So this is that kind of alternative interpretation besides the whole partnership thing, which again does not have to be romantic. So she's someone who does not let logic dictate everything. So she usually scries, she looks into a cup, and she finds meaning and answers there. So that's what I'm basically seeing here. You're really, really being pushed to embrace the intuitive messages that are coming your way that are, yeah, just less logic oriented and more messages from your higher self, from your soul guides, and from kindred soulmates, whether they are on earth or not, whether they're your spirit guides. You're being urged to really listen to these sources of information that really seek to bring you to your environment, your home, and your soul tribe that is basically destined to be yours. So wow, very intense reading for you guys. Okay, so what's the sort of bridging energy before we get to the further future and how this will be manifesting then? Okay. 10 of Cups. Yeah, this is ultimately what's waiting for you. This is why you're being pushed on this path, is because your higher self, your spirit guides, the universe wants you to experience this highest possible joy. I mean, like, wow, look at all of this. I mean, this is, if you were thinking this is, I still think this is a side message, but if you're asking or wondering about a partnership that you think is off limits, if this is what this is for you, not only is it meant for you and will it bring you true fulfillment and happiness, but it is integral to your highest purpose in this life too. So it wouldn't be, if this is for you, for those select of you, about a partnership that is romantic, this has to do with it being not just that, but something that integrates your purpose, your career, that basically like connects everything in your life. So you're being pushed right now a little bit harshly but it's all for your highest happiness. Yeah, and where will you be in 3 months with this? I got 2 cards for that. So Boot, increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals, and Valley, deep personal strength and peace that assures success. So exactly, success is assured, right? Your highest fulfillment is assured here, but you're going to be tested a little bit. You're going to feel like the momentum is constantly increasing throughout part of this journey from now for at least the next 3 months, so that, you know, the higher the risks, the greater the reward is what this reading is saying for you. And the more you relinquish your, wow, okay, as I say that, the devil jumps out super violently. Okay, the more you relinquish your ties to material and security anxieties, because the devil came out, the more you will be in this place of success that combines all aspects of it, spiritual, emotional, and material. And we have the Magician as our second card, clarifying the Valley. So, I mean, this is you're powerful and you're able to manifest anything you set your mind to right now. You just have to really accept your quest and to realize that if you're being pushed in these directions that feel a little bit uncomfortable for you intellectually and maybe even spiritually, it does not mean that your security is threatened, or that if you were to pay attention to them or actually accept what you're being pushed to do, it doesn't mean that you would miss out on the other stuff, on, you know, financial security, material wealth, all of that. On the contrary, the more risk you engage in, of course, to a healthy degree, right? But the more risk you engage in, like conceptually, aka something that, you know, you would not have ever done if you wouldn't have had these crazy experiences, if you wouldn't have all of this energy pushing you on this path. The more of that, whatever feels risky you accept, the greater the rewards are going to be for you. So this is a reading that's all about something that's literally no less than you embracing your highest possible purpose and being on your most powerful path of life. So this is a huge change right now during this eclipse season, and the rest of this year will be very, very important for you on your life path. I feel like super bossy in this reading. Every reading comes out very differently, but this is what really wanted to come out for you. So let's see if there is a closing piece of advice for you. We'll pull maybe 2 cards for you. Yeah, let's see. Any ending conclusive piece of advice for pile number 1 on this soul journey that is so important this year. Okay, we got deep replenishment, retreat, rest, and be held. Okay, so as you receive a lot of these messages and intuitive promptings, and, you know, as you kind of push yourself to accept the quest, because I feel you ultimately will, because that's why this reading is the way it is, you still have to actually have moments where this is, again, watery energy, right? So King of Cups, Queen of Cups, Supermoon. It's all about accepting this sort of vibe. See how she's kind of out there in the moonlight, very eclipsey imagery there. And she's kind of gathering flowers in this very chill sort of way. I could be describing this card way better than this, I know, but this is not about taking violent action, although you were prompted to take a different path during this time. But it all starts with opening yourself up to this sort of input, this sort of information that comes from this place that is deeply spiritual and from sources that are not, again, you know, mental and intellectual. So yeah, let's get one more card. Actually, I don't want that one. I want this one. Okay, so final piece of advice for pile number 1 during this time, the end of 2021 and the next 3 years. Okay, something flipped over. Okay, star. The silver energy of the star brings good luck and serendipity. Yeah, so this is just, what a beautiful ending to this reading. Success is guaranteed. You are being encouraged to embrace your highest path, which will bring the greatest fulfillment. And all of, like, so many things will be falling into place, right? A lot of it is predetermined. Of course, everyone has free will at every single step of their life, but a lot of the things that feel a little daunting right now, it will be ensured that they go smoothly and well, so that you reach, you know, this 10 of Cups moment, and you reach, you know, the highest pinnacle of your existence. I'm just going to end on that very extravagant note. Okay, so that's what I see for you, pile number 1. I hope you enjoyed that reading, that it resonated, and I would love to hear your comments down below, and appreciate your likes and subscribes, of course, and I will hopefully be posting more new videos around the new year. So this has been a crazy year for me, but there will be way more of these up here, especially as we go into 2022. So I hope you have a great night or day whenever you're watching, and see you later. Bye. So hi everyone who picked pile number 2. This is going to be your reading for what will be happening throughout the rest of 2021. What are you being called to embrace around this eclipse season? So November 19th through December 4th. What is the area of your life that's being most activated or highlighted at this time? And what is the energy surrounding you? So we'll do that. Then we'll get some predictions for the rest of 2021 and going into 2022, all the way up to 3 months from this moment, whenever you're watching. So right now we get the energy of Cancer, nurture, comfort, and protection, and culmination, root chakra, hematite. So this is the area of your life that's being highlighted right now. And the energy surrounding you is you're very close to achieving your goal, and your higher spiritual guidance at the moment, or advice as you experience all of this, is veil of shadows. So already what I'm seeing here is a very strong emphasis on roots, on home, on the experience of community and your closest, most important connections, whether that's family, friends, or your partner. And it's a lot about setting foundations, really, and kind of very grounded energy here. With this, I see a sort of, so the root chakra is all about security. It's all about foundations. It's all about being healthy and, yes, nurtured to your deepest core, so that everything that you plant and create has the chance to blossom and grow in beautifully organic, healthy ways. With this, as well as the veil of shadows here, which we'll get to in a second, it's all about tending to those roots. This is definitely a reading about setting roots and yeah, just finding your grounding in the world. With Cancer, this could also just in general indicate, so it's interesting, I see, I'm just here looking, I don't know if you can see, but deep within this card, we have also a kind of house, right, and a reflection. So maybe you're trying to buy a home, maybe you're trying to build a home, whether that's physically, materially, or whether that's conceptually, as in like a community. You're trying to build to find your place within the world, but specifically when it comes to like intimate, like deep, you know, very, very close connections. And this is a great time to be focusing on this, or to be investing time in ventures of this kind, because the full moon right now in Taurus, as I'm recording this with the eclipse, is all about material foundations, and it's all about manifesting things in the physical. So the Scorpio-Taurus axis is literally what we have outlined here. So in order for all of these beautiful things to grow and to blossom, for, you know, you to erect the structure of your life, whether it's a home physically, whether it's a community, whether it's to grow a family, whether it's whatever it is, you have to kind of dig deep below to the darker stuff that seems a little bit daunting or it seems a little bit unclear. In order, to see all of this, stuff blossoming at the surface, there needs to be some tending to the inward, whether that means looking at your emotions right now, like evaluating what you feel, or looking at the things that still need healing within yourself so that you feel safe and protected as you go about this. And this is telling you about, this is a message about not giving up. So gibbous moon, that's all about things almost coming to a close, almost coming to a conclusion. So no matter what, don't give up on the goals that you have right now, which are to create, to structure, to maybe restructure, to just to settle down, to set roots. So even if it feels like you're going nowhere, or if it feels like you're aimlessly looking for like the final piece that you're missing right now, this is also an important message for the eclipse, is missing pieces of the puzzle. Don't give up, because soon whatever you need will be illuminated. Between this time in November to December 4th, I feel like you will understand what you still need to do in order to get this, to finally arrive at this goal, to reach this goal that you wanted, to feel secure, to feel replenished, to feel like you have a stable foundation in the world. So that's a really good time for this to be coming up for you. I'm really glad. So with the veil of shadows here, this is really about going into that place that feels a little bit like unlived in. That's kind of the message that I'm getting with this. Like, before, at any point, like if let's take like the example of a home, like it's going to be a place that has been unlived in, right? So it's going to feel a little bit unfamiliar, maybe even alienating to some degree. Before that place can become a home, or a place that's secure and stable and that is really your own, and that you can identify with your just your roots in this life, it might have to feel like a little bit unfamiliar. So maybe this indicates moving for you, maybe this indicates picking a place to live or a community to associate with that is not the most obvious choice, or that you would not have anticipated you being a part of. But there is always going to be that moment of unfamiliarity before you sink deep into something, so that it becomes kind of a part of you. So as you are working very hard, so Cancerian energy is, people typically talk about how it's very emotional, very intuitive, even psychic, but it's also incredibly resilient. And people with Cancer placements are very hard workers, and they're extremely ambitious, and they're driven. Once they have their goals in mind, they are never really going to stop, right? So don't let that moment of potential unfamiliarity deter you from completing this task, because you're very close from achieving this goal, from believing that wherever you reach after you've done all this work is going to be a place that's comfortable for you, that's nurturing for you, and that feels protected. Okay, so let's see what's going to happen for the rest of this year, for 2021, and then what's the energy you're walking into 2022 with, and then we'll see 3 months from now where you'll be with all of this. So first we have goldfish, increase in material wealth or spiritual growth, and I feel like it's both of them at the same time. Yeah, exactly. We're talking about the root chakra, we're talking about roots in general, conceptually and physically. We're talking about homes and like physical structures. So if you feel like, for example, maybe you don't have enough resources to finish what you've been working on, or to finish building the foundations that you're trying to build, this could also indicate a business. It doesn't have to be a home. Take this as it resonates. You're going to be given the remaining resources that you need, or you're going to have this sort of spiritual insight or epiphany about what to do to fill this gap or to bridge this gap that still remains between you and your goal, which right now might seem a little bit precarious. Like it might seem like, you know, this deep precipice, like this is also maybe the interpretation of this card in the context of your reading, as in like there are two kind of slabs of stone. I'm seeing imagery very related to this. So like, I don't know, for some reason I'm all of a sudden in Mordor now, and there are two slabs of like granite, concrete, mountaintop, whatever, and in between them there is this deep pit that feels like, or looks maybe like it's filled with lava or with, you know, complete darkness. And you're like, how do I get over that precipice or pit? Well, you're going to be given something for the rest of 2021, whether it's actual material resources or some sort of understanding of how to be smart about acquiring what you need, that's going to solve that issue. And then as you walk into 2022, okay, so we have forest, muddled, unclear thinking. It's more of this veil of shadows energy. It's going to feel like you might be continuing on. So I feel like this might not be completely solved in 2021, but you're going to get the resources, the first level of your understanding or epiphany about like what you should do to complete your goal, to complete this task at hand, to reach your goals for security, for stability, for experiencing protection and nurture within roots. So it might still feel like you're just simply continuing this process in 2022 at the very beginning. But let's see if we get any clarification on that with some tarot. And then we'll look at where this is leading as from over the next 3 months. So where will you be in 3 months after you deal with this sort of, this entire experience, wow, it's way too many, between now and the rest of 2021 is basically like a really intense bridge. A very emotionally intense bridge in the lives of most people where they realize what they need to do. Okay, so we got 2 cards exactly. Okay, so goldfish. Okay, interesting. These cards came up in the previous reading too. So increase material or spiritual growth. Yeah, so this is, the epitome of Cancer energy, the Queen of Cups. So the thing I'm noticing about this card in your reading is a sort of looking back, a sort of nostalgia, contemplating the past. So maybe you will get some inheritance money or support from someone in your family, or a return of someone from your family who hasn't really been present, who's going to help you out on this path. And the other thing is, of course, the Queen of Cups is someone who is inherently incredibly spiritual. She does not need physical proof that things are going well. She believes her intuition. She receives messages. She's, a sort of minor arcana of the High Priestess. She scries. She looks at fog. She looks at water. She interprets shapes and things, and she feels fulfilled with that and protected in that sort of reassuring energy, rather than something that is like a written contract or like physical, tangible proof that something is going well, right? So this is about both of these things. Like, you are likely going to be protected and helped out by someone in your family, or someone from your past maybe, or by someone who's just like a soul connection to you. And at the same time, you're going to get more comfortable in this very like Cancerian energy of trusting your gut, trusting your intuition, and being comfortable in the shadows and the like deep earth energy of being in a place of gestation rather than full blossoming, right? With the forest, we still have more of that energy, but look at this. The 10 of Cups explains the forest. So if ever this sort of listening to intuition and to spiritual messages feels unclear, because it many times does. Like, I do so many readings, and a lot of the time I'm like, I feel like I'm missing that piece of the puzzle. Like, I don't know exactly what you're trying to tell me. Like, can you be a little clearer, right? It's not always clear. Sometimes we feel like we're walking in the dark as we follow our intuition or whatever feels like our highest purpose. But you're being truly guided during this process, even especially during the darkest times, so that, this is the end goal here. The 10 of Cups, happy home, happy family, the whole picket fence thing and all of that, if that's what you want. So this is what's destined for you. So at any point, if it feels like it's not leading there, it's because you're attempting to understand it from an intellectual perspective, and this process is not going to be, that's not what's going to help you out here. Okay, so this is a card about, oh my gosh, I got these cards in the previous reading and I've shuffled. Okay, so the bridging gap between these is the Four of Cups. So between the cards of what's happening for the rest of 2021 and the beginning of 2022, and these two cards will be, where will you be in 3 months with this whole process? So first we get Scales, keep your life in balance. And then we have Needle and Thread, a sincere wish will be granted. Exactly, so more of that 10 of Cups energy. So you're very close to your goal, so don't give up. There just needs to be some sort of evening out of a situation in your life. And as you maybe feel pressured, as you maybe feel like you're in the dark, rather than moving backwards or second guessing this process or this path, just remain in emotional neutral. If you ever are not sure whether things are going to happen or how they're going to happen, just you're not always going to understand why. You're not going to always understand exactly where you're at on a path. This feels really important for me to say. And in those moments, don't freak out. Just kind of be chill. Just remain in emotional neutral rather than going completely crazy and for example, obsessively doing readings or listening to readings to illuminate the path, because for some reason, there's something hidden as you go through this process. And I feel like a lot of it is a sort of, oh my God, more Cancer energy. A lot of it is basically just a lesson for you to really embrace that, this super Cancerian energy, intuition, and higher spiritual energy rather than, just logic. So, this is also a card about the cycles of existence and of daily experience. So it's not always going to feel like things are moving forward and very quickly and assuredly, but during those times of rest, again, we're back to the energy of gestation and things kind of being deep into that veil of shadows, right? Deep into the ground, into the earth. The nodes are shifting right now from the Sagittarius, Gemini axis to Taurus and Scorpio, which is all about planting seeds deep within so that they blossom, as we talked. So it's not always going to feel like things are moving forward. And as you experience this process of building structures or working towards that in whatever way it applies to you, learn to honor your cycles, whether that is a day when you need 10 hours of sleep and another day when you're willing to, put in all this elbow grease to make things happen on the material level too. So learn to accept the times when things feel like they're moving slower or where they're not moving at all, and to realize that actually that time is sacred and it is necessary, and you don't actually always require clarity and someone, literally coming down from the sky and telling you this is gonna happen now, and in 1 week you will be here, and in 2 weeks, 3 weeks you'll be here. So this reading is kind of a funny way to perform that message for you, because it's not telling you exactly what's going to happen, but it's telling you that at any given point you can be happy within, and you can enjoy the process and celebrate and be around friends and be around those people who are actually already there for you. And you do have soul people around you right now who can support you. And ultimately, whatever you're working towards right now, as long as you're in this beautiful Cancerian energy that's always about unconditional love and just generosity and sincerity and honesty, your goal will manifest. If it comes from this place of loving gentleness and acceptance, and as long as you learn to embrace, and I feel like you already do, most of you watching this reading, like you're already intuitive people. Like if you don't have like Cancerian placements, I would be very surprised. There may be one, two, almost all these cards indicate that. We only have cups cards, we only have water cards. So just know that. And another message that's kind of weird, if you see others around you approaching similar goals in ways that are so different than yours, just know that that's not an indication at all that you are doing something wrong. There are many ways to accomplish the same thing, and the path to the same goal does not have to, it doesn't look the same for everyone. It's incredibly unique to everyone, and the most important thing is that you sync up to your own cycles and of feeling a certain way energetically one day to the next, and to trusting your intuition, because what you wish for right now will be definitely manifesting over the next 3 months. So one final piece of advice for you. We get 2 cards for you. Okay, that's 3 cards. I want one from this deck, and then we'll get another one. Okay. Council of Light, Divine Orchestration, Helpers in the Subtle Realms. Yeah, exactly. So, when we talk about this card with potentially someone helping you and giving you that missing piece of the puzzle, whether it's material or an idea or some information, this is all about soul partnerships and spirit guides. So you are being helped throughout this process, and the reason it feels a little bit unclear at times is because you are totally approaching this entire goal and journey in a spiritual, intuitive way. This is not something that you sat down and decided to do one day, but something that comes from a deep inner calling. And your spirit guides and all the forces that are protecting you and nurturing you and making sure that you get all of your needs met in life, they are aware of that, and they're very proud of that. And they want to reassure you and to protect you and help you get exactly what you need. So if ever you feel like you don't see things, it's okay, because they're seeing things and they're providing little situations and things to do with divine timing that get you exactly where you need, and that help you acquire the things you need on this process without having to calculate or worry too much. So I let go, I release, I am within perfect possibility. Dark moon. Yeah, exactly. So this is a perfect message. That energy that of being in the dark for you can be very comforting, and is as it probably would be for people of your energy. So don't second guess that. You are absolutely on the right path. You're being protected and guided and helped out. And in 3 months' time, you're going to see at least the very beginning, or if not way more than that, of the goal and the manifestation that you're trying to bring about now. So those are the messages I'm seeing for you, pile number 2. I hope you enjoyed that reading, that it resonated. If it did, I would love to hear your comments. And as usual, I appreciate your likes and subscribes. And I'll be posting way more videos in the new year, so look out for those. And I hope you have a lovely night or day whenever you're watching. Thanks. Bye. So hello everyone who picked pile number 3. This is going to be your reading for what will be coming for you for the rest of 2021, what is being highlighted for you right now during eclipse season, so that you know how to walk into the new year, and what are the just kind of general predictions for the rest of this year, as well as the next 3 months in general. So first we'll look at what area of your life is being highlighted or activated, and that is the central theme of your investment at this time, and then the energy around you, as well as spiritual guidance. So first we get Cardinal, Instigation, Bravery, and a Pioneering Spirit, and Resolve, Desert Jasper, and Vesta, which is an asteroid, I think, or planet, I'm not sure, one of those things. Yeah. Anyway, not important, but these are extremely similar energies. This is all about being ambitious, having goals, and following through with them. Cardinal energy is the energy of leadership. So these signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, are cardinal placements. So if you have these placements, that message is especially heightened for you. And this is all about having the kind of oomph to push through something, whether it's completing a project or whether it's taking the plunge into a new direction, whether it's moving forward with something that has stagnated a little bit this year. I feel like for some of you that could be the case. And just simply finding the energy, the resources, the motivation, the ambition to just simply do it. I feel like a lot of you are, probably most of you here are pretty ambitious, goal-oriented, driven people, but you might have had some wavering moments, as we all do, of course, in the recent past, where you second-guessed whether you should be doing this or whether you have enough resources to finish this project or to go through with what you're planning, or simply you may have been tired or just felt like you couldn't pull it through. But this energy is telling you that around this eclipse season, so November 19th through December 4th, you're being given the energy that is required for you to move forward. And this is nothing is yet set in stone. Yeah, exactly. Right. And okay, interesting. Your spiritual guidance is gates of heaven. So this is all about your spirit guides coming in to support you on this process, throughout this process. So, one of the most important messages here, I think, is you have the power to shape how this outcome goes. It's up to you how this happens. And it's almost like you're given, if maybe you're someone who is used to having power and who's used to being a leader or someone who makes things happen. And I feel like a lot of you probably are, but if you felt like you haven't had that for this project or this goal or whatever you're doing right now, and we'll get more information about what specific area of life this is as the reading goes on, now you're going to be given that opportunity. You're going to be the one who has the say, who gets the key to the city somehow, to who gets the power to open the door, to open the gate. And actually this could be the other message, because typically in this deck this is all about connecting to especially passed on loved ones, but this is also about pushing through a boundary that seems closed off physically and materially, but that actually is not at all as closed off as you might think. Like, it's not as set in stone as you think, this boundary or this barrier or this blockage. Like, there is something that will come your way during this eclipse season, whether it's a piece of information, epiphany. This is very common with eclipses. Some sort of illumination within yourself that's going to make it really obvious and clear in a sort of unexpected way how you can open this gate or this door, or how you can dispel this boundary that seems to be keeping you from pushing through to the end of this final, part of this goal, or to concluding this thing that you're on, whether it's a journey, whether it's some sort of project, whether it's making preliminary plans for something that you want to focus on in the new year. Like, this is basically a powerful time when things are up to you, is really the key word here. And you have the power. And so it's really all about what you do with that. What decision will you make? Yeah, and this maybe is a reading that prompts you to make a choice, to make a sort of decision. And if you're not sure, although I feel like most of you are pretty decisive people, I feel lots of Aries energy here. It's asking you to ask for guidance from your spirit guides, especially passed on loved ones, especially soulmate connections, soul partnerships, and that of course does not have to be romantic, just to clarify. So it's asking you to listen to your intuition and to the guidance that you're receiving in ways that are not so obvious and common. So with eclipses, we always get heightened versions of everything. And there's a lot of push and pull for you right now around you. There's a lot of sort of moments when you feel on top of things, when you feel like you do have the power, like you are in control, and moments when, like this card is, there are like two sections to this card. One where you're kind of in the dark and you have to keep a light on to see where things are going, and one where you're in the light. So it feels like you're oscillating kind of between these two energies. And yeah, nothing is yet set in stone. So you have to, or not you have to, but I feel like you will come to a place of knowing which direction you should take. And as soon as you do that, you're going to know what choice to make and what to do. So let's see now what's going to happen for the rest of 2021, and then how will you be going into 2022. So we get butterfly, a change for the better. So that's great. And lion, time to act. Yep, this is all about making a choice and knowing that you have the power to do so, and knowing that you will make the right one. So let's see if we can clarify that with some tarot. A change for the better. Yeah, I feel like a lot of you are on some sort of threshold of like accepting power, or accepting a new position maybe, or accepting a higher degree of responsibility when it comes to something, I'm not sure, or when it comes to simply making a really, I don't want to say ruthless, but just a very powerful decision. And this could be anything. This could be like picking someone out of your life. This could be like moving to a different place. This could be acting on some realizations that you've had this year that relate to your greater authenticity and like what you should actually be doing in life that's different from what you're doing right now. So currently in this full moon in Taurus, which is happening in the end of Scorpio season, it's all about bringing things out into the material realms. So the Scorpio-Taurus axis is about acting on deep, inward, authentic truth and making it a reality, especially when the moon is in Taurus, as it is now. And with these eclipses happening now, during this time, the nodes are also shifting from Sagittarius, Gemini to Scorpio and Taurus. So that means that things that before were simply concepts or ideas or hopes or dreams can now truly become a reality. And what I feel like, this is this energy I sense for you, like there's this like accumulated, and oh wow, as I say that, I didn't even realize, Seven of Pentacles. There's this sort of accumulated energy and wisdom basically within you, and experience, a lot of experience, like accumulated experience that you've gathered up the entirety of this year and way before too, that you've been kind of storing within yourself. Like, you know, see how she's kind of like pointing to her heart. So you've been kind of storing this, and it's about to explode, but in a good way. It's meant to come out. It's meant to finally externalize, so that a change for the better is created in your life in the physical realm, not just, you know, all these ideas floating around, or you going back and forth between energies, but literally something actually shifting in your life. This is a very important shift physically for you into next year. And right now, basically, things are kind of like tectonic plates shifting around a little bit, so that when you move into the new year, you'll have time. You have time to act. I'm just reading that card, but oh my gosh, this card came up in both previous readings, and I've shuffled several times. Okay. So that you have the resolve to basically make this choice. And you, maybe you're thinking about something in the past that you missed out on a little bit, or something that you thought would be there, but that no longer is. And even if you feel empowered and like you're given all of this, this power to make your own choices now, or finally you have that in a way you never did before, there's something about this process or this situation that requires you relinquishing something that you've still been holding on a subconscious level, that you've still been holding on to deep down. And that is not necessarily bad. Like, we always have to evaluate the past. I think thinking over the past and constantly, you know, reevaluating our stories is necessary, actually. You know, never looking at the past again, that's not good, because we have to constantly reconfigure where we're coming from and where we're going. So there might be something that you're like, there's a sort of pause before you totally make this decision. I feel like that's what's stopping you, is this contemplation of the past and of an older paradigm in your life that you're trying to still integrate within yourself before you can make that choice to jump forward. Just know that, with this card, exactly. Just know that nothing has to be lost in a way that you're not ready for it to be lost, if that makes sense. Wow, that was a bad sentence. I'm sorry, but you know what I'm talking about. So the gap, this is the bridging card between this energy right now and into 2021 and the energy that you'll be at in 3 months from now with this situation. So you get flag, do not be tempted to lower your standards, and gong, an exciting event. Okay, very, that makes a lot of sense. So just because, so deep down, even if you're someone who is like natively very ambitious and potentially ruthless and extremely goal-oriented, or if you've been more that way recently only, either way, you're someone who is very kind deep down and who wants the best for everything and who wants everyone to be happy in the end, not to a overly sentimental degree, but you want to be at peace with your past, with people that you've invested energy in the past. And it feels like there must be something that you let go of or that you sacrifice in that sort of way in order to embrace this power and the success. And this is telling you, do not be afraid of your own success. This is a really important message, okay? Because even if you are someone who's natively very ambitious and goal-oriented, there might be a sort of seed of doubt subconsciously that's keeping you. There might be, these occasional little devils of thoughts that come your way that tell you, oh no, that you shouldn't accept that highest opportunity, or you shouldn't go down this path. Who are you to do this in the end? Are you that good really? Even though 90% of the time you're like trusting yourself and you're going with the flow and you're busting through things. There are moments when you're kind of tempted to take the back seat, or to not finish, or to not claim your award. With resolve and cardinal energy. It's very interesting because this is all about like having already reached so much success, or having gathered so much potential or so much experience or so much wisdom, but not fully having finished the project, or not fully having gone on stage to accept your award, or to, not fully having made your claim for something, basically. That's what this is what this energy is about, the Seven of Pentacles too. This is about something that still is in the working, but I feel like that temporary state is something that, I don't want to say that you've created as though you did something bad or you're being lazy. On the contrary, it feels like you're just not, like you feel like the only thing stopping you is your own second guessing of you, basically. So this is really up to you. You have the power to make every choice that comes your way at this point in time, and you're basically being tested on, will you actually go and fully claim this thing that you say you want, or will you walk away from it because of fear of success? Flag, do not be tempted to lower your standards. Hanged Man, this is suspension. Yeah, so in 3 months from now, you're going to be tested on this. Will you, this is literally I feel like I've experienced this energy before of feeling so close to a goal, of reaching a goal, and then just kind of lingering and not doing it, not taking it. Just sitting there and kind of sitting down. There's this card and a different tarot deck I have that's someone sitting on a flight of stairs right before they reach the top. That's the energy of this situation. And that moon in that deck is the Nine of Wands. And it's indicated by the moon in Sagittarius. So if you have a moon in Sagittarius or any other Sag placements, or besides cardinal placements, this is especially relevant to you because it's all about having many ideas, being fiery and intense and ambitious and all of that, and throwing things out there, and being really excited when a project begins, but not really finishing through or pushing through to the end, because as soon as things start to get concrete, you kind of want to run away because you're like, oh wow, now I have to take responsibility for the structure that I'm creating. And then that's a little bit scary and daunting. But there's something, interesting, an exciting event and the Wheel of Fortune with that thing I was talking about with like not claiming your award. So there's going to be something external that happens that feels super fortunate. So these two cards combined, and notice how there's also, you know, this gong-like figure looks very similar to the wheel in the Wheel of Fortune here. There's going to be something that's going to reassure you that this is meant for you and that you're meant to claim this energy and that you're entitled to it, not from a place of ego, but in a way that feels just like a celebration and a beautiful conclusion to things. I knew there was going to be a good card at the bottom of the deck. 10 of Pentacles. This is literally what this is about. It's don't shy away from the highest possible thing, even if that means risking things a little bit more, making choices that are a little bit more bold, because, the bigger the choice that you make when you have so much power, the more powerful the outcome is going to be, the more long-term is it going to be. And this is the card of, the ultimate legacy card, the card of things that will be set in motion, that will be going that way for a very long time. So this is why I feel like you have some sort of, you're still a little bit hesitant, is because you know actually deep down how powerful you are. No, I'm just pointing fingers at you. You know how powerful you are, and you're kind of a little bit afraid of that power. And that's okay, and that's fine. But you're learning during this eclipse season between now and the end of this year, you're getting downloads, epiphanies, higher understandings about how to integrate this power in a way that is the most high vibrational and in a way that honors the past of your experience and those that you care about, so that, with Lion coming in together with the Queen of Cups, this is also very Leo energy, as in like you are meant to shine, and sometimes you feel like your sheen is too powerful and you don't want to overshadow everyone else around you, because you feel like, once you make that choice to do this, it's like, wow, everyone else around has no chance almost. And that's good. This is a time when you're accepting your inner power, and it's very powerful, and I love it so much. This is so exciting for you. And something is going to happen 3 months from now, where you're going to be tested on your resolve to embracing and accepting this power and this success. But there is going to be an event that will basically convince you that you're meant to be doing this, or that you're meant to be experiencing this sort of success and happiness, and to feel like you have so much say in your destiny. Because the Wheel of Fortune is also about that. It's about destiny, and usually it's about forces coming in and basically, dictating things for you, but you have so much power and free will as to how this goes for you. It's up to you, really. Okay, let's get a piece of advice for you, the final part of this reading. Council of Light. Oh man, same card as the previous reading. Divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms. And this goes back to this card here, Gates of Heaven. So a lot of this is kind of your soul's legacy. This sort of thing that feels so big and so powerful, whatever this is for you, whether it's a career path, whether it's some sort of just goal that you have, whether it's simply you embracing a certain energetic frequency, this is your soul legacy. And there are people, especially passed on loved ones with this card again, I'm coming back to that, or just soul guides to you, who are making sure that you are staying on this path. Like what I see here is like, let me help out, like my little cute insert your name or whatever. Like, let me make sure they don't fall off this cliff, because sometimes they second guess themselves. They're never going to let you fall off the cliff. You truly are like blessed with this power and this soul legacy that's so positive, so brilliant, so powerful. And this is all about this happening whether you want it or not. There might be wavering in this process, but you're meant to experience this success and ultimate joy and happiness with the 10 of Pentacles there. And a final piece of advice for you during this time. Okay, that one was so bossy the way it came out. Prosperity, a prosperous business with riches and success. Oh my gosh, can you please just claim this right now? Do it. Just affirm that this is your reading and that this is happening for you, because I love this reading for you. Such a great time for you right now in eclipse season to be asking these questions, to be working through some of these thoughts and feelings and goals, and just to evaluating your energy and how you're going to direct it forward and what choices are you going to make. It's up to you how this goes. So that's what I have for you. Pile number, was this number 3? I think so. Yep, pile number 3. And I hope this resonated. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, I would love to hear your comments. And as usual, I would appreciate your likes and subscribes. So I'll be posting way more videos into the new year. So look out for those. And I hope you have a great day or night whenever you're watching. Thanks so much. Bye. Okay, so hello everyone who picked pile number 4. This is going to be a reading for what is happening for you for the rest of 2021. What are some predictions for the next month and a half or so and into the next year? And what area of your life is being highlighted and activated by this eclipse season from November 19th through December 4th? And what are you being encouraged to do? So the first 2 cards will be about like what area of your life this is about and happening in, and what you're being encouraged to do. And then we'll look at the energy around you with this card, and then your higher spiritual guidance at this moment. So first we have Earth, persistence, patience, and practicality. And right now the moon, as I'm filming, is full in Taurus. So the Taurus-Scorpio axis is being emphasized as this is the ending of Scorpio season. And there is going to be a switch between the nodes from Gemini and Sagittarius into Taurus and Scorpio. So this is a time that when all and any material concerns that you might have, or any focuses or goals that you might have that are financial, that have to do with actual material structures, not just ideas, not just hopes and wishes, are being really brought to the surface. So we'll see what that's about in more detail. And right now you're being encouraged to embrace this sort of energy. So crown chakra, moonstone, and transcendence is the card here. So this is an energy that feels a little bit at odds with this. So maybe this represents kind of more you and your native sort of investments, which tend to be a little bit more like finances, a little bit more career success than things of the spiritual. Or I'm not saying that you are not spiritual, and that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that maybe you tend to be someone who's more hands-on or who needs to be invested in action, or to feel like they're working really hard in the material world in order to feel fulfilled and successful and like good about life, basically. And someone who's kind of really deep within thinking about these matters a lot. So you might have some financial or other material anxieties about your roots, about your stability, and all of these things are being brought up to be cleared and healed at this time, because with the crown chakra, it's all about the mentalities that you have that are forming your physical reality. So if you are, working very hard, this is a card that's saying this is the energy around you. So it says your hard work is paying off. So you've been working super hard. And sometimes you're wondering, like, why am I still in a state of, not full abundance or lack or partial abundance or whatever, or partial stability and security when I've been working so hard. This is telling you that there is a shortcut to all of this. It's not about working hard, it's about working smart, but also about working from a spiritual place and from a high vibrational place. Because there's one thing to go to work or to do your job or to do whatever you do every day that, gives you stability and income and money, to do it in a way that is solely focused on that. And there's another way to do it where it comes from this higher spiritual place where you're linked up to your crown, to your higher spiritual knowledge, so that when you're working on those things, you're not just limiting yourself to this inward feedback loop of energy, but you're actually directing this energy outside of that self-contained loop. So that's a weird message, I know, but I've been contemplating on this lately, and this is really what this is bringing up with this Taurus-Scorpio axis. This could also be about overspending or not spending within your means as a sort of warning, but it could also be the opposite message, as in like it takes money to make money, and it's not a waste to invest in things. Like this is also a message about investment and working with money in a way that's not just simply the transactional closed off circuit of like, I go to work, I receive the money, then I pay the bills. This is about creating a shortcut, an energetic shortcut, so that the work that you're doing right now, which is intense, and every single day you're doing your best, so that this manifests in a way that's more powerful than what is happening right now. Okay, so here the yellow tiger mother is your spiritual guidance and advice, and this is basically about listening to your higher calling, your higher self. And there's a lot of yellow energy here, which stands at a high contrast with this sort of really deep dark brown and black energy here from this Capricorn card. So you might have really important Capricorn placements, or you might be dealing with someone who's a Capricorn, or you might be in a situation that requires very Saturnian energy, as in energy that's all about like, oh, if you don't work hard, you get nothing. Or like, you know, this is also about ancestral patterns of ingrained patterns of like, or internalized monologues about like what you can accomplish by doing certain things, like you feeling like you have to be tired, for example, or getting satisfaction from being tired physically. That's actually not really good all the time, and that doesn't necessarily indicate that you're working smartly and that you're getting something more out of it. Sometimes it's the opposite. With this yellow energy, I was going to say, this is all like solar plexus energy. And this is someone, I mean, look at her. Actually, she and the little goat are in a similar sort of, they're similarly shaped. I don't know how to explain it, but she's coming from this solar plexus energy here. That's all about being connected to your power center in a way that is really connected to your crown and your higher spiritual truth and goals. So for example, if you're working a job that has nothing to do with your greatest talents or your highest goals in life or your true passions, this is highlighting that. And it's telling you that during this eclipse season, you're going to be tested, or you're going to be given the chance to be evaluating how you want to go about this. How do you want to shift the grid of your life going into 2021 so that you are in this more of this energy, more of this solar plexus energy? And this person is like incredibly abundant. She has jewels around her. I think she's holding an instrument here, a string instrument. And she's incredibly confident, and she has a strong voice, and she's very fiercely protective over what she creates. But in a way that does not come from ego, but from true confidence. And I get the sense that sometimes you get a little bit defensive and you're like protecting what you work on or what you create, because you actually, it comes from a place of fearing deep down that stability or that what you're creating is gonna be guaranteed for the long term, and that security will be guaranteed to continue. So this is all about you shifting your mentality around how you make wealth, how you generate income, how you make things with your hand, and also about what you actually do on the regular basis. So about your job, this is what this is really, about your job, about your career, but specifically about material wealth, finances, and just hard work is really the thing here. So if you have, I would check also your charts and your transits if you have an important Saturn transit happening, because this is basically what I'm saying for you is that this time, the greater shifts you make mentally, spiritually, the more you work on shifting that inner mentality to connecting to the higher source, to your spiritual guidance, which wants to take you out of this closed in feedback loop of like a 9-to-5 job, specifically if that's not what you want. The more you listen to this guidance and the more you do things to make you happy and to actually replenish and heal the solar plexus, the center of creation for you, the more you will have the power to set the course in a different and better and more powerful direction for the next year, for the rest of the year, and beyond that, because this is Saturn energy, I feel. This is about the long term. This is about long structures, about the long term, basically. And yeah, what you do now is going to be very important. Okay, so let's see what's going to happen for the rest of 2021. And then as you walk into 2022, what's happening, and then we'll pull some tarot to clarify, and then we'll look at how this energy will be manifesting in the next 3 months. So, okay, first we get Rooster. An arrogant, boastful person you should not cross. Okay, so, yeah, if this is about, I mean, this really is about jobs and your workplace and in general, your everyday experience. This is about someone at your workplace who is very arrogant, probably, or who causes you to lower yourself in energy. Basically, this is about someone who you have the potential to be in this crown chakra connection, but they constantly trigger unnecessary worries about your root chakra, aka about your stability, about your, like, oh, are they going to take this from me? Are they going to take my job away from me? Are they going to take part of my income? Like, just because they're louder than you does not mean that they're smarter. Just because that they seem to be boasting, like they're people who say that they do things, but they say more than they do. And that's not your native energy. I feel like you work from, this is where you're meant to be. You're meant to operate from that solar plexus energy. And it's almost like you're comparing yourself to them. And you're like, oh, I must do this. I must protect myself. I must also fight as, dirty as them. So I, fight their fight and therefore win over them. But that's not your native energy. And actually, when you're in that energy, you're actually you're working against yourself by lowering yourself to their standards. And I want to say they're kind of stupid, but whatever. But this is what the reading is bringing up. And you're almost like, you're basically a little bit afraid that if you do something, like if you undermine them, like it might come back to bite you. But no, it's not about fighting with them. It's simply about disengaging from this loop of energy, because you're not meant to be on that wavelength at all. Okay? This very bossy reading, this reading. Okay. And into 2022, you get grapes. Time to go out and have fun. And the way I interpret this is a message about elevating your energy. This is a message about clearing this sort of roostery energy. And I don't dislike roosters. I'm a rooster sign in a Chinese horoscope. So they're people who can be very protective of their home, their career, their structures that they build. So this is the other side of this is like, you want to be the elevated version of this energy. You want to be someone who is a powerful creator and provider and all of that and abundant. But how do you do this in a high vibrational way, connected to your root, to your crown chakra, not just in that survival mode? How do you do that? And the way you do that is by creating the experience of abundance within yourself already. So with grapes, do things that make you feel good, that remind you of your true passions and your true whatever, like your goals that you're actually supposed to be working towards, rather than being bogged down by these energies that are not native to your creative power center. Like whether that is going out and having fun, whether that is treating yourself, indulging in a little bit of nice food or whatever. With grapes, it speaks about potential. There's a lot of potential during this time, very portal-like time of the eclipses, where you could kind of claim potential that was never claimed before. Like what I'm seeing here is like leftover money that you didn't know you had, or things like that, or savings that you put away because you're working so hard and being so diligent about that you can actually now dig a little bit into them and enjoy things so that it elevates your energy, because it will actually have a lot of payback down the line. And even if now maybe you have to do a little bit more spending, or maybe if you have to take some time off from work to just completely detach from this energy, it will have a lot of payback, positive payback down the line if you recalibrate yourself during this time as you walk into 2021. So let's pull some tarot to clarify that. Then we'll have a bridging card from this energy to the energy 3 months from now. And then we'll end with some advice. Most of these readings have been very intense like this, but in very different ways. But this is a powerful time for you, especially if you have fixed placement. So Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo. So this eclipse season is important for people of these placements. Or if you have Capricorn placements or any sort of earth placements. Oh my gosh, I swear this card, I'm going to make sure I'm shuffling properly, because this card came up. You know what, I'm going to take it. I'm not even going to second guess. I'm going to take this card. Came up in almost every reading. So maybe it's important, maybe it's not fake. I shuffled this deck 3-4 times before in between each reading. So this is a card of emotional neutral, and this is clarifying the rooster. Yeah, this is just basically saying what I was saying before. When someone comes at you with this sort of energy, disengage. Look at her, she's unconcerned. That's the way I'm going to take the meaning of this card, rather than the traditional meaning of being like someone who doesn't accept. Typically there's someone under a tree, there are 3 cups around them, they're being offered a cup and they don't take it because they're kind of disenchanted with life. This is not that. This is the elevated version of that. Like someone who is so unconcerned with this sort of explosive energy that they just, if someone's literally yelling at your face, you could have this expression, be completely unconcerned. I hope someone's not yelling literally in your face, but even if they are, you're being challenged by the universe, by your soul journey, to be so chill, so cool within yourself, so high vibrational. This is that crown energy. You're being challenged to be so high vibrational within yourself, so at peace with yourself, so healed, feeling so abundant already within yourself, so confident in your own energy that you don't give a shit. You could literally be spitting in my face, and yeah, okay, I'm probably gonna slap you if you do that, but like metaphorically spitting in my face, and I'm gonna be unconcerned. Just let that energy completely slide off of me as though I'm made of ice or glass. This is what you're being told to do for the rest of this year. And here I am with the finger again. Damn it, these readings have all been like that. I don't understand. It's not me, it's the cards. Okay, let's see for the grapes, what do we have? You know what? Having a drink with friends, very obvious connection there, but having some nice drinks with friends, even, 1 drink per week or something like that, and venting about this. Yeah, the Empress. Okay, nice. So, wow, that's beautiful. I love to see this combination of cards. If this is a card of abundance and fun, and on the other spectrum, bacchanals and being crazy and partying, this energy is just the more mature energy and the more grounded and long-term energy of that. The Empress is someone who is very abundant and secure and confident, so confident and secure and abundant within themselves internally that they don't feel any need to project it outwards. So this is what wants to come your way. You're really encouraged to do whatever it takes to enter the new year in this energy. If you do this, your year will be really amazing. Such a shift in energy on a physical level. This is really important because the Empress is also Taurus energy. So this especially, again, if you have fixed signs, but especially Taurus and Scorpio, because this is the axis that's being activated right now, this try to embrace this energy. Whatever this card means to you, try to embrace this. This also speaks again about solar plexus and heart chakra, and about being confident and lit from within as it connects to your true passions in life. You know, one thing is to create abundance in this, or abundance or security in this way that's disdaining of the way you're going about it. And one, it's a different thing entirely to feel like you're creating out of like true spiritual energy, the energy that truly connects to your soul with this crown chakra here. Okay, so let's see. What's the bridging energy? And actually, I should probably put out the other cards before we see what the bridge is. So where will you be 3 months from now? We get wishbone, broken wishbone, wish will not be granted, enlightening, control your anger, or you will be sorry. Okay, so basically what this is telling me is that do not engage with these people around you or the structures that you do not like in a way that matches their energy. The more you disconnect, these cards are both similar, right? They're unconcerned. The more you heal, especially if you've been pushed to your limit with being, tested by people who operate from ego or who are just incredibly annoying or low vibrational, especially if you've been pushed to your limit and you feel like you might explode any moment, don't do that. That's not the way to, if you do that, they won, is basically the message here with this broken wishbone. If you do that, you're actually going against yourself. So I feel like I should pull another card for you that further explains these two, because those are pretty similar cards for me. Control your anger or you'll be sorry. But this is also, maybe another message about if someone is really mistreating you, like they need to stop and they should be sorry. Yeah, so, oh man, yoke. Feeling tied down or frustrated. So this, thing that holds the ox or the animal as they work hard in this way that's non-fulfilling. So you need to break free from this. Let's see if we can get another piece of advice on how to do that, but we'll see what the tarot says as well. So within the next 3 months, there might not be a complete shift to this energy. Okay, I'm getting this final card here. Good. Okay. Romance celebration party. Okay, so interesting. Let's clarify the bridge between now, what you're being encouraged to embrace, and the next 3 months. So you're going to be tested over the next 3 months on how to raise your vibration so that you're not rooted down in this negative cycle where you're feeling depleted and just, stressed out and tested by negative ego people around you, ego-oriented people around you. I'm so happy to see this because that's why I pulled cards, because I wanted more positive cards for you, because I sensed that this reading was going so positively forward. So I get it now. Okay, let's get one more card as our ending energy here, as our conclusion for where this is going to be. One more card, please. Okay, fine. Okay, one more card, and wow, this is, I was thinking of the Four of Swords and I was looking at the Four of Cups. Okay, and the Moonchild card is up again. So yeah, between now, as this is all happening now, being highlighted in your life, being brought to your attention in your life, like Spirit is telling you right now, is bringing it up to your attention that this pattern needs to be changed. This structure of your job, of the way you make income, the way you go about your daily existence needs to change for the better, so that you feel happier, more abundant, freer, so that you feel connected to your true soul purpose as you make things with your hand, and or as you engage in your daily grind, whatever that is. You want the daily grind to not be something you dread. You don't want to feel like this, like you have, you're just some animal pulling a cart and working hard. Again, working hard, sweating, not necessarily a positive thing. This is telling you to just simply disengage from that at a mental level and at an emotional level too. So if this is the card that tells you to disengage from ego-oriented people, this is telling you that your response is also very important. So what you say, actually, you could say one single thing. So this came out with lightning, right? Control your anger or you will be sorry. This is telling you, instead of exploding or trying to, because I feel like you're at your breaking point with this pattern of these people treating you this way, or being dissatisfied with your workplace or the way you feel as you go about your job, and the way you feel it signifies something for you just in general on your soul path, like you feel it's disconnected from your soul path. This is telling you one smartly phrased sentence has so much more power than like exploding back in someone's face. Because if you do this, if you engage with them, you lower yourself to their standards, and then what you truly want will not come true. So, but it's right here under your grasp. If you shift your mentality and if you connect to your crown chakra and your solar plexus chakra, so those are the most important avenues for creating that shortcut from the physical, from the conceptual, because you want something right now. Yeah, you want this 10 of cups, you want this beautiful fulfillment, the ultimate highest fulfillment. Of course you want that. You should want that. If you tell yourself you don't want that as a sort of defense mechanism, you shouldn't be doing that, because I know you do. So this, you want that, right? But you need to heal your power center and the way you create things and the way you feel connected to the energy of generating in general, and your mind, right? You need to heal what your self-limiting beliefs about what you can accomplish, because this is literally what you're keeping yourself in this yoke right now. It's not even really about the other people. It's about you making the choice to not shift out of this heaviness, because you have internalized old values about whoever works the hardest wins the most, or whoever plays the dirtiest is gonna win, or whoever is the most ruthless is gonna win. No, whoever is the smartest and whoever is the most spiritually at peace. So many of these cards, all of these cards for me, indicate being spiritually at peace within yourself, emotionally, materially, mentally. Wow, that's such a powerful message right there. And with the Moonchild card at the bottom of the deck here, this is all about, this is Cancer energy. If you have Cancer placements, good thing. If you have any water placements, this is important. This is someone who is a gentle, loving person. She is high vibrational. She is connected to her inner cycles. She trusts that things will go her way. She doesn't have to engage at this ego level with people of this kind, even out of self-defense. And somehow she manages to find herself in abundance and happiness. And she doesn't have to engage at this level. She doesn't have to sweat when she works. She is just there, kind of ethereal and wonderful and artistic and whatever. So this is what wants to come your way. That energy wants to come your way within yourself, and 10 of Cups wants to come your way in your environment. And we also got this card, Romance Celebration Party. So seriously, one way to elevate your energy is to just try to have fun, or to engage in activities that simply are disconnected from this, closed-in circuit of work and of struggling and all of that. At the bridging energy between right now what you're being encouraged to see with this eclipse energy and coming into the new year and going into the next 3 months, this is more Capricorn energy. This is Sun in Capricorn, 2 of Pentacles. This is about balance. But the way I'm interpreting this is just be light on your feet. Rather than working hard, being deep, being pressed into the ground, you can do all of that work in this elevated way. You can be doing a hard task or something you don't enjoy, knowing that that's not what your goal is. Even when you do that, like, you want to disengage from that. You want to keep it in mind what your end goal is, and it is to be disconnected from this closed-in circuit of negativity and constriction. Okay, so we're going to pull you some final piece of advice here. And this is for everything just in general, but especially during this time of recalibration before the nenext year. So, too many cards. Just give me one, please. Okay. So boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? Very important for you. Yes, and the answer is basically kind of everywhere. Look at how all of these people are reaching to this one person, and she's definitely overwhelmed. She's kind of in this suspended energy, and it reminds me actually of this card here. But this card is that suspension minus all these horrible hands reaching. People are draining your energy right now. You need to put up better boundaries. Even if you are still engaging with them, this is all about that. I realized, had an epiphany. It's about, someone yelling in your face and you being calm about it. When your inner energy is so elevated, you simply just don't connect when someone engages at that level. Like, if your threads of energy are there mostly, like when someone hits you there, it doesn't do anything. It's, you have like a total armor around that area. So it's like someone, a little like Chihuahua energy biting your ankle, like, you're not gonna care. No, I love Chihuahuas, they're cute. Don't get that the wrong way. Okay, so boundaries. Yeah, this also, the chakras are highlighted on this card. So once again, I really highly encourage healing your solar plexus chakra to some degree, your root chakra and your crown chakra, especially the root to crown channel, because you want to be more on the crown rather than the root. I bet if someone took your aura picture right now, you would be very red, which signifies that there's an overemphasis on root. And because of that mentality of the hard work thing. So this is about literally just closing off the circuits to negativity coming from people who operate in that low vibrational, ego-oriented way, and doing things to raise your vibration, even if it means pampering yourself a little bit more, even if it means taking some time off. Okay, that's 3 cards flipped over, so I'm just going to take all of them. Star. The silver energy of the star brings good luck and serendipity. How wonderful to see that. This is guaranteed for you. This wants to happen. The 10 of Cups wants to happen for you. Little luxuries. What was I just saying? Generates luxurious experiences and surroundings. Getting yourself in an experience of enjoyment generates more of it. You need some of that right now. You need to pamper yourself in water. Work with the element of water for healing, purification, and refinement, especially if you have important water placements. And let's get one more card here for you. I pulled a few more cards for you because I felt this was an especially strong protection message in this reading. And I am magnetic to what I want. I repel what I do not want. This is the perfect possible summary of this reading. You are magnetic exactly to the high vibrational stuff that you want, that is meant for your soul. Abundance that comes from the soul, not from ego or from material issues for security or worries about security, and you repel what does not match up to that. So that's a really good mantra for you. Okay, so pile number 4, that was your really kind of extended, intense reading. I hope some of that resonated and that you enjoyed it. If you did, I would love to hear your comments, and I would always appreciate your likes and subscribes and shares and things, and I'll be posting way more of these videos as we go into the new year. So stay safe and healthy out there during eclipse season, and I hope you have a lovely day or night whenever you're watching. Bye. So hi everyone who picked pile number 5. This is going to be a reading for eclipse season. So some predictions for the rest of 2021 and going into 2022. So what area of your life is being highlighted and brought to the surface by these eclipse energies, which are super powerful happening, and the moon is full in Taurus as the eclipse is happening in Scorpio season. So what area of your life is being activated by this? and also the solar eclipse on December 4th. So this is the window of time we're talking about. What energy are you being encouraged to embrace, or what are you being encouraged to do at this time as this energy is highlighted for you? What is the energy around you? And what is your higher spiritual guidance? So let's get into it. And sometimes with these cards, not everything comes through super clearly at first. So we're going to clarify with some tarot later, but we're also going to see just what's actually going to happen in the rest of 2021. So we'll pull a couple of tea leaves card for that, and then into 2022, and then 3 months from now. So there's a multi-layer process to this whole reading. Okay, so right now, energies relating to Pisces are being brought to the surface, being highlighted in your life. Okay, the first thing that I see that is the two fishes together here, this sort of yin and yang energy, which it's kind of also Cancerian if you think about the symbol of Cancer. So more water energy. There's been a lot of water energy in these readings. Almost every single one of them had so many water cups cards. There was also, I think it was pile number 2 that had Cancer as its main energy, and Cancer comes up again here. So that might be relevant for you. So you might want to take a look at pile number 2 as well. Oh, and pile number 1 had the North Node, which you have here. So lots of repetitions here. And basically this time is highlighting what your best direction moving forward is, and out of the current structures of your life that might not be ideal. Because a lot of this energy around this eclipse in Taurus during Scorpio season is about your material surroundings, which are kind of in a state of temporariness. Because most people right now are not exactly in their ideal place that they want to be in. And actually Pisces works a lot with idealisms and your highest wishes and hopes and dreams. So this is what I feel like this is about for you specifically. Because Pisces energy could manifest in every sort of astrological energy, could manifest in many different ways. But for you, this is all about your highest possible hopes and dreams and idealisms, and these are being brought to the surface because, as I was saying, most people right now are not in the most perfect of circumstances materially around them. They're not where they want to be. Like the job they currently have is not what they want to have. Their daily structure is not what they want to be doing and perpetuating for the next year. Like think about it over the next year, like for the next year from now, do you want to be doing what you were doing now exactly at this moment? And maybe the answer is yes for a few of you, but for most of us, it might not be a big yes. Even if we actually like that, there might be some things we are being asked to optimize about it, or to recalibrate, or to improve. There are physical, material structures to what we're experiencing now that need to be changed. So for you, what you're being asked to do is how to shift your hopes and dreams in a direction where they are connected to your highest purpose, and where there's no sort of there's no sort of filtering or lowering of those standards for whatever reason. And because the card Cancer came out, Moon in Cancer, you and your loved ones are safe came out, I feel like you might be lowering your standards or compromising on your hopes and dreams because of some issues to do with security. So Cancer, the energy of Cancer came up at least twice in these readings, which indicated in those contexts worries about stability, worries about home, about structures, about prosperity, about being taken care of, being nurtured, and feeling safe. So because you might be experiencing some instability in that area, no matter in how it manifests for you, whether that is materially when it comes to your home or your job, when it comes to your physical and emotional well-being, I feel like a lot of you people in this reading, this pile especially, are very, very sensitive, especially if you have Pisces placements or other important water placements. You're someone who gets very affected by their environment externally. So if there's anything like low vibrational around you, you're going to unknowingly or knowingly absorb that energy, and it's not going to be good for you because it's going to make you second guess your highest dreams and goals and hopes, and it's going to make you compromise on them. It's going to literally make you do the opposite of what you should be doing, which is distancing yourself as much as possible from those energies that feel threatening to you, that feel like they're bringing down your vibration. Because like if the impulse to, you know, give up or compromise on those goals or hopes is, oh, like I'm just being unrealistic, like I'm wasting my time investing in that, and I should just be doing regular, boring, normal, tangible, earthly things. That's actually detracting from your success, because you're not meant to experience or create success in those conventional ways materially. Again, this Taurus-Scorpio axis is about creating. It's about how you make abundance, how you make things with your hands. It's about how you plant seeds so that they blossom by themselves. And it's really it highlights a lot of things to do with finances and career and abundance, and just in general your physical experience in the world. So this reading is already telling you that for you, the path to creating that is not meant to be conventional. Okay, so if you would rather just kind of daydream your way through life and experience beautiful feelings and live in alternative worlds and universes, which is very Pisces energy, right? Sometimes that's, you know, society tells you that's escapist, that's wrong, that's not good. This is telling you that it is part of your purpose to enjoy and experience things like that are not so tangible and conventional in their material manifestation. And actually, from that place of experiencing and enjoying this sort of thing, you can create security and abundance and and simply a sense of well-being, and where you feel like you're taken care of, like all of your needs are met, where you and your loved ones, all those you care about the most around you, feel protected and nurtured. I get a similar energy with this arch here as I do with this, if you look deep within this card, kind of similarly like in the Cancer card. So watch pile number 2 as well. There is this archway there, and there's this reflection of the moon. So here there's also an archway, and you get opal, which is such a beautiful stone to have. I think this might be the stone, birthstone for Libra. So if you have Libra placements, this could also be further important for you. But the point here being, with this stone, such ethereal energy, right? This is very Venus energy. You want to, what you're focusing on, where your energy is directed, you want that to be a positive place. You want it to feel nice and glittery and happy, and to give you just joy, right? So what sparks joy for you, right? Whatever doesn't, you should discard. And maybe that's easier said than done, but there's a way to go through life, and this is kind of bleeding into the message of the previous pile as well, where you can be in your current circumstances and dynamics and recurring patterns of your daily existence without kind of being in them. Like you don't, if there's something really uncomfortable about your daily grind or whatever, like you don't have to be fully immersed in it. There's a way to like honor the place you're at right now, but know that it's temporary. Okay, and the higher spiritual guidance that you're being sent right now through this eclipse season, which is all about epiphanies and receiving messages and things, is the Lotus Throne. So this person here, this really is such a similar energy to this card here. With, in color as well, we have greens and pinks. And the thing that I'm getting in comparison here, we have kind of desert, not fauna, that's incorrect. Desert plants, let's just call it, with the cacti there, that survive in very little, with very little water, right? But the Lotus Throne, this is a plant that is all about water. It gets all of or most of its nutrients from water, right? And right now you might feel like you are the lotus, like this is your, as someone with Piscean energy or tendencies, you prosper in a watery environment, and something that's where you feel like you're living in sort of beautiful fantasy in a world that is disconnected from the more vital and materialistic tendencies of those around you. Like you want to be kind of floating above, like this lotus does in water. You want to be experiencing life in this more mutable sort of way, especially if you're a mutable sign, this is important for you. But right now you might feel forced to be grounded and rooted in an arid environment that is not like your soul. So this is telling you that your true north is meant to include this sort of energy, where you feel abundant and taken care of, and where there's this sort of gentle abundance and nourishment that comes from within, rather than that, that is conditional, where you are told that you have to adhere to certain structures in order to receive abundance or security or whatever. Because that is not meant for you. You're not meant to experience life through those conventional structures. This is also very divine feminine energy. So if, of course, regardless of gender, this is appropriate, that side of you might need some healing. This is very green, so lots of earth, heart chakra. So heart chakra meditation might be very useful for you. The crown and the heart chakra are highlighted for you because Pisces is always crown. And yeah, you're basically being told that you are meant to experience a gentle existence, and your life is meant to be experienced that way. You don't have to internalize the goals and the assumptions and the structures that others have taken for granted, or that they've accepted as like normal things to focus on or to desire or to want. You don't even have to want those things at all. You might simply be happy with other alternative unconventional structures, whether that's related to your job, to your passion in life, to your family structures, your home structures, your relationships of all kinds, of course. And your purpose relates somehow to this sort of gentle, like watery, intuitive energy. So let's see what's happening for you for the rest of 2021. Then next card is going to be about going into 2022. Then we'll pull some tarot. Oh, how nice that is. For the rest of 2021, happiness, flowers. That's cute. That's very concise. I like that. Okay, so you're being encouraged to embrace more of this. And I feel like, it's not going to be such an easy sort of path to embracing that and to feeling this every single moment of every day. But this is what wants to come your way. This is what is coming your way. And then going into 2022 is, okay, we got a wall, a misunderstanding. So we'll see what that's about. We'll clarify with some tarot. And then we'll see how this all manifests and goes forward into the next 3 months. So let's pull some tarot first for these 2 cards. So yeah, with that blue bird, also blue jays or other avian creatures might be important for you, or might be sending you messages about these realizations that you're kind of having, or that are being brought to your attention by the eclipses. So Knight of Cups, how nice. That's more Pisces watery energy. So basically something's going to happen for the rest of this year, before this year is over, that's going to bring you a lot of happiness, whether that is someone making an offer. Knights are about offers a lot of the time, especially the Knight of Cups. Someone like confessing something very sweet and loving to you that they never did tell you before. Oh my goodness, every single pile had the 4 of Cups. Interesting. Okay. So, and I shuffled in between each reading. I shuffled the pile, the deck properly. So I know that this card just really wants to be out, and it's probably the theme for this entire eclipse season, which is so weird, but I understand it. Okay, so yeah, so it seems like you're going to get a sort of break in optimism for the rest of this year. And it's not like you are someone who is naturally pessimistic. I don't think that you are, like deep down, even if you might project that sort of feeling, like you're actually a very idealistic person deep down. And sometimes, idealism does not have to mean optimistic. Some people are idealistic in many different ways, but this speaks to getting your hopes up again, or just simply feeling much happier again because of something that's going to happen. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but we'll see. And then with this wall, I feel like for you guys, I have to clarify a little bit further. So let's pull out the rest of the cards. So where will you be with this whole cycle in 3 months from now? It says hat. You will be playing a different role. Okay, very interesting. So maybe something to do with your career or your job. You're going to be in a different position at that time. And then you also get angel, spiritual guidance, protection from harm. How nice. This is such a gentle reading for you. And these cards, look at how kind of they connect a little bit. They're both, there's like flower imagery. They have a similar hairstyle. They're both holding something in their palms. Even their outfits have some similarities. So you're being divinely protected and guided on your path, which is meant to be a gentle and loving and kind one. All of the energies around you are, and in your future, your predictions here are meant to allow you to experience that. So let's see. What's the kind of connecting, bridging energy between this thing that's happening now at the turn of this year to 3 months from now? Like, what's going to be the change in your life? Like, what's this change in role? Okay, so this is the middle energy, 9 of Cups. Nice, very nice. Okay, 3 of Swords. And for the angel. Yeah, I feel like for you guys, I need some more. Every other reading, I just needed the one card for each tea leaf, but I feel like for you, I might have to pull some clarifications. Okay, one more card here, please. So let's see. Yeah, between now and the rest of this year, there's going to be something is going to really make you happy, whether it's on a small or large scale, but I feel like something is going to basically kind of heal your heart from a past accumulation of heavy energies. And we have the moon at the bottom of the deck here, so that's more Pisces energy. There's just so much water energy in these readings, so mostly probably people with water placements watching, but if there is something that happens at the turn, like at the beginning of 2022, that seems like it's stopping this energetic shift that's going towards the positive, like it's stopping it in its tracks, then it's just asking you to wait a little bit because things are not as they seem. Okay, yeah, finally I get it. This is what this message is about. Things are not as they seem. If there's something that seems like a new obstacle that seems a little bit illogical, whether illogical on an emotional or actually logical level, because things seem to be like turning towards the positive more as this year is ending, or you seem to be getting your hopes up and now all of a sudden something like crushes them. It's not as it seems. It's asking you to wait it out in that time period because something else is coming that's really bringing true fulfillment. The 9 of Cups is a card of true fulfillment and your wishes coming true. And she's someone who, she's basically, you know, like if this person, like she believed in these hopes and dreams that seem to be a little bit too idealistic for the people around her or for the structures of society around her. Like she kept those beliefs up and eventually she, like it manifested, it happened, right? So this is asking you to not believe the course, the like order of the course of events that's happening, because I feel like some things might be a little bit out of order. This is very channely at the moment. So like, so basically what's like the sequence of events that's gonna start maybe around like early December, I feel like going all the way to January and the rest of January is gonna be a little bit convoluted and discombobulated, and it's gonna be like a very weak indication of where things are actually leading down the line. Okay, so with the hat and the 3 of Swords, I feel like there was something that you had given up on in the past, whether it was a job or a position or whatever that you just kind of thought was no longer available to you, or that it was not possible, or you simply didn't get it before. You're going to get a second chance at this between now and 3 months from now. And it's up to you if you take it. So basically, the other alternative message could be that you want a position right now and you're not going to get it, or you want to be in a different role at work or whatever, or you want to be someone else to someone, maybe like in a relationship or something. Like you want to get to a different level with someone, but you're going to be disappointed. But basically what this is telling me is that, again, don't trust the course of events or the surface level of what these things mean to you, because this is all happening. It's all divinely protected so that you get your highest fulfillment, which is what you truly, truly want, right? The Nine of Cups, this Piscean energy of your highest hopes and idealisms. This is what you're being guided to experience. So if something feels like a disappointment at first, you're being prevented from experiencing that because you want to get the highest possible version of it. So the ending card here is the Magician, right? This is true magic. I mean, so much magic in this reading. This is someone, this is highly mystical energy, occult energy potentially too, with so much Pisces. So deep down in your own sort of back and forth way, and I say that because I feel like you second guess your intuitive energy and you second guess your hopes and wishes, which are not conventional. But regardless, you're actually quite resilient deep down, and in this own kind of like, back and forth mutable, very mutable sort of way, you're manifesting this highest ideal that you truly desire. And if anything else comes along that seems like it's putting a barrier or a wall on what you want, it's actually a protection from your angels, from your spirit guides. It's something that's not meant to come your way, because it would actually not be what you think it is. So it's all about illusions too, right? So with the moon at the bottom of the deck, another message and theme for this eclipse season is about illusions in general and incorrect kind of assumptions and analyses, as in like you think this thing is going to give you your greatest fulfillment of all time, but it's actually going to bring you heartbreak and disappointment. So this reading is really all about you being protected and divinely guided so that you experience this sort of like free abundance and gentle abundance, so that you don't have to strain and work hard and do all of this, because you're a very gentle soul and you shouldn't have to experience those sort of things. So going back to that card with hat and playing a different role, yeah, that could also just mean like getting this second chance from something that you wanted in the past that couldn't happen then because you were being protected against things that would actually bring you disappointment. But now it's time for you to start experiencing that and to feel like magic is on your side and that things are magical again. So that's a wonderful message to hear. So let's pull you some closing advice. And anytime we're on our north node path to our highest purpose, there's going to be wayward paths like this, and it's going to be a series of successes and obstacles and things, and the trick is to not get stuck in the lows, yeah, because with the Four of Cups, that's about emotional neutral, and sometimes it's better to be emotional neutral than to freak out and to be in all of these extremes. Like one moment like you're so extremely happy, and then the next moment you're like devastated that something that you thought was going to happen didn't happen. So it's all about balance, inward balance. How wonderful. This is a perfect message for you guys. Don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? Yeah. So this is all about you being different in a beautiful, positive way. You're a gentle soul, you're an intuitive soul, you're an empath probably, you are someone who's extremely sensitive, and you're a creator and an artistic person. And even if you don't think you are, you have such unique energy. This is very starseed energy too. And this is asking you to not give in to those pressures, those social pressures that tell you that you have to do certain things that make you unhappy just because, you know, that's what everyone else is doing. You don't have to do anything that anyone else is doing if it makes you unhappy, okay? Very obvious message, but it really needs to be said. So let's pull you a couple of other closing cards. Okay. I will not remain stuck. I choose change, and this fell in on the hat card, which is about change and playing a different role. And it says, I am courageous and powerful. So yeah, if this is about, the final thing I can see here is about you being a little bit afraid to embrace this thing that might be a little bit unconventional, whether that is a new job, whether that is a new investment of time and energy, whether that's you just like, you know, quitting your job or whatever. You have the resilience and the power deep down to do it. So be courageous in making this choice, and know that you don't have to do anything that makes you unhappy, because you're meant to blossom and to experience gentle abundance and joy and happiness. And you are protected on this path as you experience this and as you gather this all of these blessings on your soul journey. So that's what I have for you, pile number 5. I hope this resonated, that you enjoyed this reading. I would love to hear your comments if it did, and I would always appreciate your likes and subscribes and shares. And I will have more videos like this in the upcoming year, so there will be way more stuff up there. So I hope to see you back here, and thanks so much for watching. Have a lovely day or night whenever you're watching. Bye.